Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be running through my Programming POE, which asks us to prompt the user for a username and password and check if they meet certain conditions. Alright, without any further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so since I want to use GUI, I'm going to import a javax.swing package. So this imports all swing packages, but I really only want to use JOptionPane. After that, we declare some global variables, username, password, first name, and last name. Then we'll use these to store the user's input for each respective variable. After that, we'll create some methods and then call them in the project's main method. Alrighty, so we're going to create a method called register username. So this is where we'll prompt the user for their first name. Enter your first name, JOptionPane, and then last name, JOptionPane, enter your last name. And then after that, we'll proceed to prompt the user for their username. Then what we're going to do is we're going to declare a Boolean value to use for looping. So if the format of the username is wrong, it's going to loop the program and ask the user to enter their username once again until they get the format right. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and create an if statement. So this is going to check if a certain condition is met, that being the username format. So if it is correctly formatted, it will display username successfully captured. But if not, it will say username is incorrectly formatted, and it will give the user a format for the username to follow. So I went ahead and called a method to check if the username is correctly formatted, that being the username having an underscore and it being less than or equal to 5. So we're going to go ahead and look at that method. So the method is called check username. So what it's going to do is, since it's a Boolean method, it's going to return a certain format for the username global variable to use. Alright, so we're going to return username.length is less than or equal to 5 and username.contains an underscore. Once that's done, we're going to call check username in the if statement. And then we're going to equate that method to the global variable username for it to check if the conditions are met in the if statement and then display an appropriate message. Alrighty, so we're going to move on to password. So we create a new method for that and we create a Boolean variable for the loop, and then we prompt the user to enter a password of their choice. After that, we create an if statement to check if the password is correctly formatted. So it has to be greater than or equal to 8 characters and has to contain a special character, capital letter, or number. If those conditions are met, it will display the message, password successfully captured. If not, password is incorrectly formatted, and tell the user what they need to do to format the password correctly. Once again, to check if the format is correct, we're gonna call another method to do that in the if statement. So we're gonna go down to that method and see what it does. So we create a method called checkPasswordComplexity, and this is also going to be a Boolean method because we want it to return a certain format for the if statement to follow. But this time, we're going to do something different. We're going to be using pattern and matcher, and these are regex packages. So we're going to go up and then we're going to start importing java.util.regex.matcher, and then we do the same for pattern. Then we're going to go back down and then we're going to create conditions for our password to follow. So its first one is going to be pattern and then equals pattern compile, and then we tell it to match capital letters, special characters, and numbers. Then we're going to go down to matcher, and then we're going to do the same matcher, and then we're going to call it smatch, and then equals, and it's going to equal the pattern, and then we're going to tell it to match the string that we declared in this method. Alright, and then we're going to return the conditions. So pass.length is greater than or equal to 8 and smatch matches. So we're going to go up back to our if statement, and then we're going to call that method and then match it to the password global variable, and then it's going to check for those conditions and display the appropriate messages. Alright, lovely. Once password is done, we're going to go down, create a new method called public boolean login user, and this is going to prompt the user to enter their username and password again. So what we're going to do is we're going to declare 2 strings again to prompt the user for their username and password, and declare 2 boolean variables, one for username, one for password. So these are going to check if the password that is entered is correct and the username that is entered is also correct. If not, it will loop the program. So we'll prompt the user for their username. So enter your username and the password, and then we create an if to check if the string that we declared in this variable matches the global variables. So we do that for both username and password, and then it's supposed to display login successful if the username and password match the ones that we entered in before. And then it displays welcome, first name and last name. It is great to see you. If those conditions are not met, then the login failed. And then we prompt the user to enter their username and password again because we looped it. All right, and that's it. Then we return true, and that's about it. All right, so next we're gonna run a unit test to see if this works. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I went ahead and created a unit test for my check username and then my check password complexity. So what this is going to do is it's going to return a true value if the string here, being Kyle_1, is correct. And then I did the same thing for the password method. So here, we're going to enter this and then check if it meets the criteria. So let's go ahead and run it. Let's see if it actually works. All right, so it looks like it's returned true. Lovely. So let's do the same for password. All right, cool. It returns true. All right, so that's it. So now let's run the program. I forgot to do that earlier. Let's see if it actually works. All right, so we run it. Hold on. Okay, so I couldn't actually screen record the GUI, unfortunately, so I had to use my phone. So to do this, we're going to enter John as the first name, and then we're going to enter Doe. All right, once that's done, we enter. It's looking for a username, Doe_1. All right, and then we enter. Okay, username successfully captured. We do the same for password at DoeJohn12. All right, password successfully captured. Then we enter the username, Doe_1. Then we do the same for password at DoeJohn12. All right, login successful. Looks like it works. Welcome, John Doe. It's great to see you. So yeah, that's it. Everything works. The program runs, the unit tests work. So that's about it. See you around.